with our teams up and down the coastline. We've had a really good vantage point of how this is all played out. None worse than what you're seeing here, some of the scenes from Manasquan, New Jersey. That's where Bob Van Dillen has been live throughout the day today. Bob, high tide, well behind you at this point, but it looks nasty. What's the scene been like since we spoke last?
You know what? The water level has gone down, Ian. We know that the coastal flood warnings, they expire at 8 p.m. tonight for Manasquan, New Jersey, and the areas right here. But you can really see a stark difference between now and the dead high tide. Dead high tide, we had these waves that were coming in off the ocean, hitting that sand berm right here and going up and over and then spilling over towards this region. That's not happening anymore. That hasn't happened in about an hour. So, yeah, the water levels are starting to go down. What hasn't stopped, though, it's the relentless wind. The winds are gusting over 40 miles per hour. You can feel it. I put on the specs because it's sand within that wind and it's just taking me apart. So put on the goggles right now. It's still hitting me pretty hard. But we're talking winds right here over 40 miles per hour at times, sustained easily at 30. I mean, we're leaning into it. We don't have to stop or anything because it's pushing us around. But it's that wind action that's getting the wave action. The waves have been just nonstop battering across this region by Manasquan Beach, over the inlet, again into Point Pleasant Beach on the other side. But that's going to be a major concern. Ian, this is another storm that we've got coastal erosion that we've been talking about up and down the entire East Coast, essentially from the Outer Banks, way up towards New Jersey, into areas by New England and Long Island, too. This storm is a lot different. Remember, we had Hurricane Aaron. I was in this exact same spot. In fact, the sand wasn't quite as high. I think you could see the base of this flagpole. That's how much sand has been blown up with this one. This nor'easter has been worse than Aaron in the sense that we've seen higher coastal flooding, we've seen more beach sand displacement, and we've seen more beach erosion. So this storm is way worse than what we had with Aaron in terms of that. Aaron didn't make a landfall. I know that. We had bigger waves with Aaron for sure. Some of those faces were 10 to 12. These guys right behind me are more like 6 to 8 at this point. But when you get across the buoys, you're still in open seas. You got 15 to 16-foot breakers out there. So, yeah, the swells are still out there for sure. But things are calming down water-wise. The wind has not ebbed at all.
You got the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar glasses out there now, Bob. Looking good. I wanted to ask you, though, were you surprised at all? Because you were talking about perhaps making a trip down to the shore last week as we were watching this up in the Fox Forecast Center. Did you expect this to be a worse experience than you had when Aaron, a big hurricane, was just offshore?
I thought we were going to get a lot more rain out of this, so I knew inherently it was going to be more of a miserable assignment, even though I love nor'easters. Some of my favorite storms of all time. I love them. This has been a driving wind-related thing with an occasional shower or two. What's getting me wet right now is just sea spray that's coming in and bashing me over and going across into the inlet at this point. But yeah, you know what? This is one of those storms. Nor'easters a lot of times are worse than hurricanes for the Jersey Shore. First of all, there's more of them. And when the hurricanes do come up, they usually don't make a direct impact, with the exception of Sandy. They went right in across the Delaware Bay, essentially, and put a huge wall of water. It was a storm surge of 12 feet right where I'm standing. That wasn't the case. Just about a 3-foot surge on top of what you would see. But it's enough to get the moderate coastal flooding going. In fact, moderate, bordering on major. Go up the line a little bit farther, and you've got the Raritan River, the Amboys up there, Perth Amboy, those beaches when you get across Lake Keansburg. You could see major flooding on that first high tide, but I think the high tide cycle, now that it's going down, the worst of the coastal flooding is over, but now we're just concentrating on the wind and the beach erosion. That's the main thing, and we didn't see that with Hurricane Aaron.
Yeah, Bob, are you staying right there on the shore? I'm curious about how far inland you have to go for the impacts here to throttle back a bit, because you had said it, storms like this, the worst of the impacts are right there along the immediate coastline.
Yeah, you know what? We're looking at the observations. The Monmouth Executive Airport is 8 miles inland from where I'm standing right now, and the highest gust I saw there was 39 miles per hour. We were saying before that we had over 45 mile per hour wind gusts, 55 out there across the buoy. So yeah, the farther inland you go, the more tempered it is. You have more friction, et cetera, et cetera. But the coastal flooding went all the way up through the Manasquan River, and you've got coastal flood warnings well inland. So these kind of storms, they're not just coastal impacts, they are, but the flooding goes inland for miles.
Yeah, we're actually looking at some live pictures from the Beast. We had it in the 2-box with you, Bob, and you could still see a lot of lingering water. It's a messy look across Manasquan there. And yeah, we see you going through it. So great job reporting out there today, Bob. I know there's been some tough conditions. We'll be checking back with you in a bit.
And by the way, the flagpole offers no relief from the wind. I've noticed that.
You spend all that time in the gym. I see you every morning in the gym, too. You got to find maybe something with a slightly larger profile, Bob.
Maybe you're probably right, because this ain't helping.
No. Bob, thank you. We'll be checking back.